Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So the second New York Jets preseason game is officially in the books, beating the Green Bay Packers on the road, by the way, 23-14. There's a lot of takeaways. Okay, there was a lot to wrap your head around, at least for me personally in this matchup. There were some really good things happening, but there were also some concerns. We'll get into both sides here. Let's start with Zach Wilson. Okay, 9 of 11. 128 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Zach Wilson took care of the football. He knew where to go with the football. Everything looked seamless. Everything looked calm. It just looked like he had complete control over the offense. He was accurate in the short passing game, intermediate passing game. I don't really want to say deep passing game because it's not like he was firing the ball down the field, 8-9 times or anything like that, but really, 15 yards beyond the line of scrimmage, 20 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. I felt like he was there as well. Again, completed a lot of passes. He did what was asked of him, dispersed the football around. Corey Davis got involved again early, huge. This is a guy with a lot of potential within this Jets offense, and we're seeing that chemistry early on between him and Zach Wilson within the first 2 preseason games. Of course, it is preseason. It's not like the Packers rolled out King and Alexander and Savage. So we do have to take that into consideration, but we can't just discredit what Corey Davis and Wilson have been able to put together up to this point. I mean, Corey Davis, I thought, looked great last week against the Giants. Again, same can be said. We didn't see Bradbury and Adoree Jackson, but I mean, Davis was able to separate. Zach Wilson was hitting Davis in stride. He was getting him involved early. That's what you want out of a #1 wide receiver. And the one thing that we do have to remember here is that Corey Davis was brought in by Joe Douglas and Mike LaFleur on a 3-year contract over guys like Kenny Golladay, Curtis Samuel, Sammy Watkins, Juju Smith-Schuster. It was Corey Davis. He was the first wide receiver that was, first main wide receiver signed here. And I feel like that speaks volumes about what the vision is, what the plan is for Davis within this offense that's been on full display throughout preseason so far. Another point that I felt like the Jets excelled in today, Matt Amendola. Are you kidding me? Perfect day. Perfect day. The kicking competition has been wide open. Sam Ficken was released early. We had Chris Nagar on the roster, undrafted free agent from SMU, who was recently released. It's been Amendola's job up to this point, right? The last week here, he was perfect today. He had a 54-yarder. He had a couple of extra points. He had a 30-yard field goal, and he had, I believe, a 46-yard field goal as well. 5 for 5 on the day. 5 for 5. I mean, I'm not saying he's the franchise kicker here or anything like that, but to be in Lambeau Field and to look that good, I mean, what a huge confidence boost for not only just the players, but the coaching staff, the front office, and then, of course, the fans as well, because, I mean, I feel like I'm not the only Jet fan here that's a little concerned about the kicking position moving forward. So to have an outing like that, again, preseason here, but to go out there and nail those kicks on in a road game, I feel like that is huge. It is huge for Amendola's confidence, and I really want to see him build upon that, next week against the Philadelphia Eagles. But man, there's so many different things here. Tyler Kroft, 2 touchdown passes. Both plays were awesome plays by Kroft. Yeah, Wilson put the ball right on the money, but that first play where Kroft came down with it, what a job to hang on to the football there. I mean, there was contact. It wasn't just catch, feet are in, boom, plays over. No, there was contact. Kroft had to hold on to the football. As he's turning around, he got smacked. He was able to hang on to it, which is big time. And then, of course, on the second one, Zach Wilson comes rolling out to his left, hits Kroft perfectly in stride, gets all the way up to, I think, around the 5, and then just has this incredible stop move. The Packers defender goes flying off in the sidelines and walks his way into the end zone with a little bit more contact. But, only 2 catches here, but again, he wasn't in there the entire performance or the entire matchup. But two catches for 2 touchdowns, 36 yards. That's great. That is great. Again, the tight end position, much like kicker, wide open. Ryan Griffin, by the way, did not play today. But we have a lot of guys there. Yeboah, Chris Herndon, and, Ryan Griffin included. It's going to be interesting to see who emerges from that room. I've always felt it was going to be Kroft, but up to this point, the production really hasn't been there in training camp. But to see that today was really encouraging. But going back to Zach Wilson, I just felt like he was accurate. He was really just I felt like, and we talk about this a lot on this channel, like Wilson just needs to be the point guard. This is going to be a run-first team. Everything is going to be built off of the running game. Just distribute, get Corey Davis the football, get Elijah Moore the football, just disperse the football. And then when your number is called upon, push the ball downfield. improvise, extend the play with your legs. Zach Wilson has all the potential in the world to do that. But today he did more. He did more than what the, quote unquote point guard is supposed to do. It was reminiscent to the BYU days. He made those types of plays constantly. I mean, going back to the Davis play here where Corey was pretty much at a standstill on the sidelines, Wilson was back there scanning, keeping his eyes downfield, rolling to his right. The second he identified Corey as an option here, the ball was out of his hands. Such a quick release. The football flies off of Zach Wilson's hand, man, and it's so fun to watch. So much potential. You add in the mobility, you add in the work ethic, and you have the potential to be something great. Okay, that's really the bottom line here. We'll see how he does in the regular season, but he was great in week 1, but I thought he was fantastic in week 2. Of course, we have to again here take into consideration the Packers, team or defense that they rolled out. It wasn't the ones, but he had a lot of experience with the joint practices going up against Alexander and those guys, so there's a positive there. There is some stuff that he can take away from going up against some elite level talent there. But for the entirety of Zach Wilson's performance, I felt like he was just calm. Everything was at ease, never too high, never too low. Everything was, he was really collected out there, just really well put together. The composure was there, the poise was there, everything was on full display today. Also, another preseason game where he doesn't turn the football over. Major issues with quarterbacks in the past, with Geno and Sanchez and, of course, Sam Darnold. But, I mean, looking at Zach Wilson so far through 2 preseason games, hasn't turned the football over. Eric Stokes made a great play on the football early, but I don't really feel like that was close to being a turnover or necessarily a bad decision. Maybe a little late, but bottom line, Zach Wilson completed a lot of footballs today. He looked really good. There were a couple concerns, though, within this performance. Actually, before we jump into the actual, what went down, we need to talk about the injuries. This is something that's, I mean, it's getting to the point where it's just nauseating. It's nauseating to look at. I mean, we entered the game with Elijah Moore out, Elijah Vera Tucker being out, who else? Morgan Moses didn't play, LaMarcus Joyner, Bless Austin, Sheldon Rankins, Quinnen Williams, Vinnie Curry. I feel like I'm missing maybe a couple more here. And then we enter this game, and Gerard Davis gets carted off the field. Mike White gets hurt later on. Connor McDermott gets hurt. Another injury to the offensive line. With Carl Lawson going down, Quinnen's already hurt. I mean, the injuries are really starting to stack up here. And it's getting to the point where it's like, are the Jets going to roll out another depleted team? Another depleted team like we have been doing in the past couple of seasons? I mean, that's been one of the downfalls for this team in the last couple of years. Just everybody is hurt. We just don't have enough bodies. So we have joint practices with the Eagles this upcoming week. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out on the injury front. At this point, if I'm Joe Douglas, I'm bringing in guys. I'm bringing guys into this locker room, okay? At the pass rusher, edge position, definitely offensive line. There's some really good guards out there. Nick Easton from the Saints. Maybe, we don't really know what's happening with DeCastro from Pittsburgh, with all the retirement stuff, but maybe there's a chance. I mean, the Jets have been successful in doing that before in the past. But DJ Fluker's out there. I don't think the Jets are going to bring in Osemele, who's also out there. But if I'm Joe Douglas, I'm bringing guys into the building. Like, I feel like at this point, we're just losing too many players. Too many guys are getting hurt. And with Gerard Davis going down today, I was beside myself when Gerard Davis is in the tent, and then of course the cart comes back pulling up to it. I'm like, oh my God, Carl Lawson just got carted off. And then a couple plays later, McDermott has to get carted off. Absolutely unbelievable. Unreal. I felt like one of the areas that the Jets struggled today was stopping A.J. Dillon. The guy's an absolute tank. He's a hard player to bring down to begin with, but really stopping him, I mean, I felt like just yards after contact was there for A.J. Dillon. He just ran all over the Jets' defense. And, a lot of the Packers' first teamers weren't out there. A.J. Dillon isn't even the starting back, and he was just mauling guys over. And then Kurt Benkert, he had the interception towards the tail end of the game, but I felt like he was decisive. He knew where to go with the football. There was a lot of zip on the ball as well. I felt like, I honestly felt like the defense kind of, and yeah, of course we missed a bunch of guys. Like I said, Rankins didn't play, no Bless Austin, no LaMarcus Joyner, Davis got hurt, no Q. There was a lot of guys missing. So the assumption is once some of those guys get back healthy and ready to go, the run defense will definitely improve. But I felt like just looking at today's performance under a microscope, the run defense was not good. And really the defense overall let up a lot of easy plays. And I felt like the Packers kind of stepped, no pun intended here, but like they stepped on their foot a couple times, like with Kurt Benkert like falling down multiple times. I just felt like the Packers gave the Jets a lot of chances, and we still struggled on defense overall. But at the end of the day, they only finished with 14 points. So you could push back and say they did what they needed to do. Green Bay only scored 14 points. So I guess you could kind of look at it from both sides of the coin. But all in all, I felt like there was a lot of good things happening on offense. Davis, Wilson, kicking, Amendola. There's a lot happening there. I felt like maybe the interior offensive line play wasn't really up to par as well. Couldn't really run the ball effectively. Some interesting roster moves. I felt like Michael Carter was put in a little late. Keelan Cole also late. I mean, no Denzel Mims, no Elijah Moore. Keelan Cole's not even out there with 2 guys down. He's still not out there to start. He came in later with Mike White. I found that interesting. Is it based off of, joint practices with Green Bay? Is it, wanting to get Vincent Smith more involved early? I don't know. I'm not in those coaching rooms. I wish I was, but at the end of the day, I just feel like I don't want to question anybody here. Like I feel weird saying, oh, it's a questionable roster decision or questionable personnel decision, because who am I? But I feel like with how well Cole's looked so far, you'd want to get him in there early, especially if we're down a couple guys like Mims and more. But anyway, so I'll leave it there. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. What are some of your takeaways from today's game? How do you think Zach Wilson looked? How do you think the wide receivers looked, and all that good stuff? What stood out to you? Cannot wait to read these comments. I love preseason football outside of the injuries, of course, and I don't really like how the wins and losses don't count, but I love preseason football. Late August, it's the best football. It's just starting to gear up here. It's great. Anyway, thanks so much. And as always, go Jets.